This is the Spirit of Haughton, and the Spirit of Haughton is 1930s vintage Aranca 65C. Henry Haughton built this airplane from some older derelict airplanes, kind of pieced it together. He was unable to find any wings, and he ended up having to get the factory plans, and under the supervision of an FAA certified mechanic, he actually built the wings from scratch, finishing this project in about 1962. Henry flew it for years, flew it all over the country, all the way to Wisconsin, to the Oshkosh Air Show on several occasions, flew his children in it, and it became very much a part of the history of both the local Experimental Aircraft Association chapter and his family and the citizens of Ida. I became acquainted with the airplane, not knowing Henry personally, about a year after Henry's death. Henry had donated the airplane to the Experimental Aircraft Association here in Shreveport, and his daughter contacted me. Apparently, on the when Henry died, he was cremated and asked that his ashes be scattered out of this airplane over a location north of the airport called Gold Point. It's a place where all pilots report in when they're landing here at Shreveport Downtown Airport, so it's a historical landmark for the pilots here. On the anniversary of his death, Allison Martin, his daughter, called me and asked me if I could fly her around Gold Point on that anniversary, and that's something that I've done every year since. So it's a great airplane, flies wonderfully, and we use this aircraft now not only to introduce people to flying, but we teach tailwheel aircraft. This is an antique airplane. It does not fly necessarily like a lot of modern aircraft do, and so it's a real pleasure to introduce modern pilots to an aircraft that takes back into the history of aviation. So we've trained a great number of pilots to fly these tailwheel or conventional gear aircraft in this airplane. It's one of the only ones in this part of the country that's available to train pilots in. So the EAA is proud to have the airplane, and we've got a lot of members that enjoy working on it and keeping it up. The chapter has subsequently, after taking the donation of the aircraft from Henry, rebuilt the airframe, stripping it completely down back to the skeleton, if you will, and recovering everything. And then a few years ago we replaced the engine and propeller on it. So the airplane's maintained in a very good condition, and it's just been a very enjoyable airplane for us to fly. The gift that Henry gave to the chapter is so important to the Experimental Aircraft Association here that we've actually started an annual award for people who volunteer, do service for the Experimental Aircraft Association and education and other things that we provide to the aviation community. And so every year we give the Spirit of Haughton Award out to a member who's just done exemplary work. So Henry's legacy and his generosity lives on through this airplane and in the Experimental Aircraft Association Chapter 343 here in Shreveport, Louisiana.